Love, emotions, and peace deeply occupy us humans. We want to preserve and protect them at all costs. However, do we truly understand what these words truly mean? Here are 3 stories that illustrate the meaning of these words. A picture of peace. Once upon a time, there was a king who announced a prize throughout the land. He invited all artists to paint peace, and the best painting would receive a grand reward. All painters in the kingdom eagerly set to work and presented their paintings to the king. Among all the paintings that were created, the king was most impressed by 2 of them. He now had to make a decision between the 2. The first painting was a perfect depiction of a calm lake. The picturesque mountains surrounding the lake were reflected in the water, and every little cloud could be seen in the ripples. Everyone who saw the painting immediately thought of peace. The second painting was quite different. Mountains were also visible, but they were rugged, rough, and barren. Angry clouds raced across the dark gray sky above the mountains, and one could see the rain falling, the lightning flashing, and almost hear the thunder crack. A roaring waterfall plunged down one of the mountains, carrying trees, rocks, and small animals along with it. No one who saw this painting understood why it represented peace. However, behind the waterfall, the king noticed a tiny bush growing on the rugged cliff. In that small bush, a bird had built its nest. There, amidst the raging storm in this inhospitable place, the mother bird sat peacefully on her nest. Which painting won the prize? The king chose the second painting and explained his decision as follows. Do not let beautiful images deceive you. Peace is not needed where there are no problems and no struggles. True peace brings hope, and above all, means to remain calm and peaceful in one's own heart, even in the most challenging circumstances and greatest trials. The perfect heart. One day, a young man stood in the middle of the town and declared that he had the most beautiful heart in the entire valley. A large crowd gathered, and they all admired his heart because it was perfect. There was no blemish or flaw in it. Yes, they all agreed that it was truly the most beautiful heart they had ever seen. The young man was very proud and boasted even louder about his beautiful heart. Suddenly, an old man appeared before the crowd and said, "Well, your heart is nowhere near as beautiful as mine." The crowd and the young man looked at the old man's heart. It beat strongly, but it was full of scars. There were places where pieces had been removed and replaced by others. However, they didn't fit perfectly, and there were some frayed edges. More precisely, there were deep grooves where whole parts were missing. The people stared at him. How could he claim that his heart was more beautiful, they wondered. The young man looked at the old man's heart, observed its condition, and laughed. "You must be joking," he said, "comparing your heart with mine. Mine is perfect, while yours is a mess of scars and tears." "Yes," said the old man, "yours looks perfect, but I would never trade with you. Each scar represents a person to whom I have given my love. I tear out a piece of my heart and give it to them, and often they give me a piece of their heart that fits into the empty space in my heart. But because the pieces are not exact, I have some rough edges that I value very much, because they remind me of the love we shared. Sometimes, I have also given a piece of my heart without receiving a piece of theirs in return. Those are the empty grooves. To give love sometimes means taking a risk. Even though these grooves are painful, they remain open, and they too remind me of the love I feel for those people. And I hope that one day they will come back and fill the space. Do you now recognize what true beauty is?" The young man stood still, tears streaming down his cheeks. He approached the old man, reached for his perfect young and beautiful heart, and tore out a piece. With trembling hands, he offered it to the old man. The old man accepted the offer, placing it in his heart. He then took a piece of his old scarred heart and filled the wound in the young man's heart. It didn't fit perfectly as it had some frayed edges. The young man looked at his heart, no longer perfect but more beautiful than ever, because he could feel the love flowing from the old man's heart into his own. They embraced and walked away, side by side. The Island of Emotions. Long ago, there was a beautiful little island. Here, all the emotions, qualities, and characteristics of human beings lived harmoniously together. Humor and cheerfulness, pride and wealth, sadness and loneliness, happiness and intuition, knowledge, and all the many other feelings, traits, and qualities that make up a person. Of course, love also resided there. One day, the surprising news spread that the island was under threat and would sink into the ocean in a short time. So, everyone prepared their ships to leave the island. Only Love, whose ship was not seaworthy at the moment, wanted to wait until the last moment. Love was deeply attached to the island. As the island was already sinking, Love asked the others for help. Wealth was about to embark on a very luxurious ship when Love asked, "Wealth, can you take me with you?" "No, that's not possible. My ship is filled with gold, silver, and gemstones. There's no room for you," replied Wealth. Love then approached Pride, who was passing by on a grand and beautifully designed ship. "Pride, please, can you take me with you?" "Love, I cannot take you," answered Pride. "Everything here is perfect and you could damage my beautiful ship." Next, Love asked Sadness, "Sadness, please take me with you." "Oh, Love," responded Sadness, "I am so sad that I have to stay alone." When Cheerfulness set sail, she was so content and joyful that she didn't even hear Love calling out to her. Suddenly a voice called out, "Come, Love, you can ride with me." Love was so grateful and happy that she completely forgot to ask her savior for their name. Later, Love asked Knowledge, "Knowledge, can you perhaps tell me who it was that helped me?" "Yes, certainly," answered Knowledge. "That was Time." "Time?" Love asked in astonishment. "Why did Time specifically help me?" And Knowledge replied, "Because only Time understands how important love is in life.